mean, so far it says event not started. It looks like it's having a hard time with YouTube right now. There we go. Now it says it's connected. Now it says it's connected. Okay, hopefully that works now. If not, I'm going to have to complain later. All right, that's better. That's better. So now we got one person over on YouTube, according to the thing here. You can see 8 people on Twitch and 1 person on YouTube, according to this anyway. Sometimes it wavers, sometimes it's not quite right, sometimes, whatever. But hopefully it continues to actually work. Streaming on YouTube twice. I guess I'm just talented like that. Yeah, let's see if we can get something cool going on here. We'll start with like a... Oh, come on, yay. I don't need groups. Let's turn on Dynamesh. Let's see if we can get something cool going on here. Just going to kind of play around with this a little bit. See what we can get. I want it to feel like it's kind of like stuck up the wall a little bit. And I'm just kind of trying to block in some principal forms, which is sort of working so far. Let's go through and kind of inflate this. See if we can get this to do what we want it to do. Depending on how this guy turns out, like if he's like insanely popular on my on my Instagram or on the Pixelogic stream, I might have to see about going through and actually like retopologizing him and make him into something real, but we'll have to see. Do you ever use clay polish? Yeah, from time to time. It's one of those things that's really kind of I use it mostly if I'm doing something like rocks. Or something that's like a stylized wood. I've tried using it on characters to try to boost like a planar sort of look, but it's not always very clean in the way that it groups planes in the face and things like that. Sometimes it'll go through and it'll kind of cut in the planes that I intend, but then sometimes it'll kind of bunch together points in random spots and can create a little bit of a of you know, just not as clean, not as desirable sort of effect. So this is getting me kind of an interesting effect. I'm not trying to be anything like super precise or particular with this. I'm just trying to add in some surface variation that's very, you know, just kind of, I don't know, like blotchy. Went the wrong direction. With some brushes, the direction matters. So make sure that you kind of pay attention to how your brush draws out. This is one that matters. It's the slash brush. It's important. It's directional, so it's that was kind of cool. I'll keep that. Do something like this. Let's go ahead and do something like that. Just to kind of almost make it feel like it's like cracked chocolate. Just to kind of break up the surface a little bit. I'm liking how this is turning out. This is working very well for me. Let's see. Do something more like that. You see, it's like I'm going through kind of quickly, and I'm trying to vary up a couple of things. I'm trying to vary up the spacing on my strokes, and I'm also trying to vary up the the smoothness of the strokes. So it's like, so it's not a straight line, it's got this wave to it. So that'll help to create more of like an organic sort of surface to it, you know. I like using this for like different natural surfaces, so so like trees and things like that. Or like I was mentioning earlier, I used this on the Avengers campus for Disney Paris, and I use this, actually it might even get installed like elsewhere too, so I'm kind of curious to see how my assets get used. But yeah, so essentially what I did is I used this to be able to make like battle damage on one of the installations that I worked on that I can't discuss in detail, but but that's what I did, you know. Just kind of add some of this breakup around the eyes. Helps him to feel a little bit more more organic instead of being like this oodly clean processed chocolate. Every once in a while, my pressure sensitivity kind of suffers, so I have to kind of drop out and go into. So here's a good example. This is where I'll show you kind of the technique I used for creating that battle damage. You just kind of like go through and just kind of layer up the stroke, always going in the same direction, unless you're intending to use that stroke to kind of contrast against itself a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of the way that I go through and did this this really cool battle damage sort of effect, where like, you know, like a laser hole or something had hit. That's a little bit too much down there, I think. Yeah, taking a little bit of a break. I had started this as part of the sculpt today on the on my Pixelogic stream today, and since it was going so well, I just figured I'd you know, I figured I'd go ahead and kind of push it some more. I've really enjoyed it, so it's kind of an obligatory, like, oh, I don't want RGB on. Let's just go ahead and kind of pull this out. And with the snake hook, if you hold Alt and click and drag, it's going to make it kind of drag out along the surface a little bit more. Which can be good, can be good thing, can be bad thing. Let's get some of the shape design in here like we had with the other, like with the rest of the body. Just gonna come in down here and just kind of pull out. Oh, we gotta change that focal shift back some. That's a little bit too much. I don't like that. Let's go ahead and pull that back. Oh, did it stop? Did it stop again? Because like I know that for some reason it had a bit of a pain sort of issue where the stream stopped for a minute, which really drives me nuts that it did. So I'm so sorry. I apologize to anybody who is watching. Please forgive me. I know now what I do. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, resolution is definitely not high enough. So what I'm gonna do, let's just make sure that these forms are about what I need. Just to make it feel like the glop. Yeah, it's like my internet is just terrible. It's a very powerful sandwich. It was holding your stream in YouTube. You finished it and the stream stopped. If that's the secret of the universe, I need to make sure I always have a sandwich present. Ooh, venomizing. That is quite the key word right there. Okay, so Control Shift D. Slice curve. Modify topology, delete hidden, close holes. Sweet, okay. That is an awesome idea. Okay, 256. Sure, why not? go ahead and use clay to kind of build this up a little bit. Modify topology, delete hidden, close holes. Let's do something like this. Too many ideas. Too many ideas. Okay, Dynamesh 256. Dynamesh that. Smooth it out some. Cool. I think I want to do the same thing for the other eye. Delete hidden, close holes, pull it out some. Dynamesh 256. Dynamesh and smooth, baby. Dynamesh and smooth. Control Shift D. Geometry, modify topology, delete hidden, close holes, Dynamesh 256, turn that on, smooth it just a bit. Okay, let me see. Silhouette's not completely the same. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's take this. Kind of fix some of that flow here. Fix some of the flow here. Okay, something like that. I think that that's kind of working. It's getting certainly like a lot more personality to it. Let's go ahead. Let's take these eyelids. I'm gonna merge them down. Take this down. Okay. Call this eyelids. I think I'm going to take the eyeballs. Let's make them kind of like this, more yellow. Let's go to skin shade, color, fill object. color, fill object. And let's go back into startup material. Okay, that definitely helps to be able to see the eyes if they're going through. Just kind of pull this forward a little bit. Certainly makes him feel like demonic. Jealous I didn't think of it. Oh, and it's funny because like so many of the ideas for this character have come through just kind of talking and bouncing ideas off of, you know, people who are watching right now. It's been a thrill. It's been awesome. So that's a ton of fun so far. Let me see. Let's make the arrow so we can have that kind of coming through the hand here. Select the quiver. Let's grab IMM primitives, and we will say hexagon. Yeah, maybe we'll just use the polysphere. And we'll just do the same trick like what we did earlier. Let's come in here and we'll say flatten. We don't want it in that direction, we want it in this direction. We'll just flatten it down. Say accept. And then this needs to be a lot more narrow. Not quite that narrow though. Something like that, I think. Okay. Let's go ahead and get rid of this extra edge loop here. Oh, hold on. Subtool split unmasked. We'll come down here. We'll call this arrow. Hey Quentin, how you doing, brother? Yeah, it's super creepy. This was an awesome idea. I can't remember who had it, if it was Ian or if it was Ryu or who it was, but somebody had mentioned like Cadbury eggs, and all of a sudden I was like, I've got to crack open his skull. It's too perfect. It was Quicks, okay. Yeah, that was awesome. That was way too perfect. Multiple edge loops. Let's kind of get this. Now, one of the things that maybe a little bit more than. Let's give it like a real amount of topology in there, because what I want to do, I'm going to come in here to surface. I'm going to say noise. I want to give this some like big noise. I'm gonna have to test this and see, but turn off the mask and you can see where the noise is. If we hit apply to mesh, you see it's kind of breaking up the surface. Am I late? You are just on time, my friend. You see, I want the noise to be bigger actually. So what we're gonna do, let's say edit, scale it up quite a bit, apply to mesh. That might be all right. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay. Okay, so he started off being like kind of creepy cute, but now he's just creepy. I've got to change that mouth to give it a little bit less of a friendly shape here. So instead of being so round, I want it to have a little bit more of a frown to it. Build that in a little bit. That got messy. You turned to the dark chocolate side. You cannot resist the dark chocolate side. I've been trying to catch up on like Star Wars TV shows that I've never seen. And so like I just finished Clone Wars, which was all right. You know, it was fun. It was something fun to listen to. And now I'm trying to listen to I'm trying to listen to Rebels. I think that's what it's called, right? It's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't think I like it as much as Clone Wars. Not that I like Clone Wars, it's just that I like it more than than Rebels. But whatever. You know, it is what it is. And it's still kind of, you know, just a fun story to listen to. Connects to something that I like, so. I enjoyed the last 4 episodes of season 7. Yeah, I think that those were definitely the most compelling episodes of the season, or of the series, really, as a whole. You are super late. Detention for a week. Same quirky walk cycles and no, the quirky walk cycles, they weren't nearly as bad in Rebels so far as they were, and the walk cycles in Clone Wars, I noticed did get somewhat better as the seasons went on, because that was something that was just extremely irritating to me, how all the movement was all very even and very, there was no smooth in and out, it was all just smooth, and it's just like, what did they do? They found their key poses and then just hit, you know, spline pose and then, you know, called it good. I mean, it's like, I know animation for TV is a lot cheaper than animation for film, but I mean, that was a little ridiculous. So yeah, no offense to anybody who actually worked on it, except for the people who directed them to be that cheap with it. Take that. So the eyes are yellow to kind of help push kind of this sickly sort of look. I'll probably actually take, here's an idea. I'll probably actually take, let's use standard brush. Let's turn it to color spray, turn the color down as far as I can make it. We'll come over to alpha, let's go to alpha 8. And I'm going to smooth it once. Same with the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this brush. Let's go over to the same color as the eyes, but then we'll make it less saturated and less dark. And we'll just kind of do something like that. The idea is I want these eyes to kind of feel like the cream from the inside of the from the inside of the head. And the cream's going to be kind of that color. So let's go ahead and grab that, since that's my base color. Come over here to the to this stuff. I'll go ahead and fill that. I haven't filled color on anything else yet because I don't want to be looking at something that's just pure brown. It'll make me lose my details, my ideas of the what the forms need to be. But yeah, so the yellow is just to kind of help add sort of that that sickly sort of look. Let's go ahead over here to one of the eyes. Do not switch. I am in primitives. Yeah, there we go. And I need a cube. Cube. Oh yeah. Let's get rid of the lower resolution. Let's zero out the rotation there. Rotate it so it matches the curvature of the face. Subtool, split unmasked. Take this down, we'll call this tooth. Getting a bunch of calls from like places in Utah right now. He stared into my soul with his Cadbury cream eyes. That'd be horrifying. Geometry crease, I'm going to say crease all, and then I'm going to say crease level down to 1, dynamic subdivisions, turn it on, turn it up to 3. We'll say apply. I don't really need that much, so we'll just say something like that. Okay, so that's our little shape. Actually, let's go something like this for right now, so we can kind of modify this shape a little bit better without having to worry about too much topology getting in the way. Okay, now we'll go ahead and delete lower. Cool. I had a bunch of friends who worked on the early seasons of Clone Wars. No one in animation. Yeah. It's one of those things that's just kind of, you got to cut costs somewhere. And unfortunately, that's usually where things get cut, or where things get I mean, it's like you think about like all the battles in space. I mean, backgrounds, all you have to worry about was having a single, star map that you could have just there in the background. Okay, let me see. I need the heart. Okay, let's see. Let's come down here to the arrow. Whoa, somebody jumping on? Is that Quentin?
No, it's Prashant.
Oh, Prashant, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good. I see Quentin on the chat though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I'm not too bad. How about you?
Pretty good.
I better
Yeah.
turn on the desktop audio so that way people can hear you too.
Oh, man. Man, I should drink some honey or something to get my voice good, you know?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
My wife got me these lozenges or whatever from I can't remember, like I don't know how it's pronounced, but Manuka Health or something like that.
Oh, you actually yes. That's
They're
good.
from New Zealand.
I
They're
guess,
super good. It's like
but I
ginger and
guess
honey.
you're like talking for a while, so you probably need something.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
have something around like that.
Emergency. Uh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was checking out his sculpt for a while before I decided to stop in and say what's up.
Oh, we doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty cool concept.
It was very much a team effort. Like there were well, I mean, obviously, so I had the poll up on my Instagram for like
Hmm.
people to be like what they thought would be appropriate for a Valentine's Day sort of themed sculpt. And there were people who are like, do your favorite character from an animated series, or do your, and then there were a lot of people that were like, Cupid, yeah, and and then Jose Lara got on, and he was like, do a chocolate monster, and he said that he actually meant to say Cookie Monster, but it's okay
Uh-huh.
because like what he said was enough inspiration for me to actually think like Cupid
That sounds
Chocolate
way
Monster.
interesting, yeah.
It's like it worked out. It worked out nicely. It was great.
Cool. So is that like caramel or caramel that coming out?
So, are you familiar with Cadbury eggs?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, now
that's
I
what this
understand that.
is. Is this like kind of and it was just funny. Quicks at the beginning he was like, man, you should do like, he said something about a Cadbury egg. I don't even know what it was that he had said. And I was just like, I've got to do it now. I've got to do it now. And I went ahead and cracked open his skull and have some of the stuff kind of pouring out. And so it's like, he looks fine from right here until you get over here and it's just like, whoa. you know,
Yeah.
this is kind of funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, those Cadbury eggs are so sweet. I think I could handle like half of one.
I used to
Yeah.
be able to eat like a whole dozen myself, Working again. I think it is working again. I'm so sorry. My internet is a piece of crap. But it looks like people might still be connected. I better jump back in. There we go. It's okay. We forgive you. Thanks, brother. That's a good sign that it's actually connected now. I did take advantage of saving while you guys were gone, but or I guess while I was
Uh,
gone. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
we're
back.
back. We're back.
Time to version up.
Ye-
Okay. So, what was I gonna do? I was gonna come down here. Control Shift D. Let's make this into the heart. Yeah. I forgot what we were talking about, and the stuff cut. So whatever.
That's okay.
It's kind of
I
a
think I
pain.
was just saying it's Friday and Super Bowl weekend.
Internet is so terrible today.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
probably because everyone is on the internet.
Yep. That's kind of what happens sometimes.
Yep. Oh, how's your week?
Uh, Pretty weak.
But
How about yours?
it's all right. Yeah. You know, yeah, just work and try to get some sculpting in, and that's about it. But nothing,
Nice.
nothing too crazy.
Ooh. Oh boy. Why isn't it letting me mirror in the world? Oh, that's why, because it was going in the wrong direction. I was trying to like mirror and weld it, and it's like, why won't it mirror and weld? Oh, because I'm going in the wrong stinking direction. Good grief. Okay. Whatever.
Hmm.
Not sure if that's the best way to do it, but we're gonna make believe. And actually, let's go ahead and turn on symmetry in the Z direction too, since we're going to be sculpting kind of in both directions at once. That was looking weird for, yeah, it was looking weird for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let it be weird. Okay, so that definitely needs to go in that direction. Mirror and weld. Oh, but that's looking weird. Why is that coming out weird? And I got some weird points over here too. Good night. Let me see. I had a question for you and I was going to ask and then I forgot, so I don't have a question for you anymore.
Um, I was gonna ask, do you think about like the size of your objects inside a ZBrush when you sculpt them? Um, like, because sometimes I try to keep it under the maximum brush size. I don't know why I do that, but
I think that's
something
a great
weird I do.
idea. I ought to. I
But
ought
yeah,
to.
you're always like working with good topology, so probably wouldn't matter.
Except for right
Like,
now.
well, I mean, I like in dynameshing, like for example, if you make something too small, you can go all the way up to like 4,000 levels of dynamesh, and it wouldn't be enough.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, Shane just plugged my hairbrushes during it. That's cool. Yeah, Shane's a stud. I'll have to go ahead and like send him a note. Yeah, he and I we've been buddies for a long time. Um, Actually, he's a big part of the
Nice.
reason why I got into Warner Brothers.
Mm. Yeah, Shane's pretty cool. He's got some pretty cool character sculpting going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw him at Lightbox. I
Oh
wanted
yeah.
to like say hi to him, but he's always being mobbed all the time, so I couldn't get to him. Yeah. Um,
I know how that goes. I'm so pop. No, I'm just kidding.
if I had known it, that was last Lightbox for a while, I would have
Yeah.
grabbed a hold of him. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It really
Um,
is.
yeah.
It really is. Like I think that's been the hardest thing for a lot of artists is just how like the expos and the all those sorts of things. I mean, one for a lot of people that's kind of like their main source of income, if you will, for a lot of people. But then it's like I don't know. It's just like the social side of it. So many artists are introverts, and that's like their one thing stepping out of their bounds, and it's just something that kind of fills them with joy and hope and everything. And it's a big thing for some people.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
There is so much fun too, just in general. Um, it's basically sometimes I guess if you work in the industry, I can see those events almost being like a party, like because
Uh
it's so
huh.
much fun to like just meet people and a lot of people I see like networking or interviewing, or job hunting, and the
Absolutely.
rest are just there to just have a good time. Yeah.
Oh, that's why it was. Yeah, it's a huge deal, and for me, that's kind of how these conventions are for me. It's all about networking and having friends and being able to see people and things like that. But
Mm.
you just don't get to you just don't get the same effect out of a virtual.
Quentin's like, did Shane warn a brother?
Did Shane? Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha.
I mean,
uh,
I don't know if you saw that meme with the guy with the t-shirt. It was pretty funny.
Guy with the
Uh,
meme with the T-shirt.
yeah, I'm not gonna bring it up because it's a little bit political, but it was a pretty funny meme. Like I was wearing a t-shirt that said "Warn a brother." Uh, um, I saw somebody not complain, but they like had issues with the new Warner Brother logo being too simple, as in like all logos being too simple, and
Okay.
um and like I don't know. I guess there's a group of people because it was like a big tweet, like everybody giving examples of like how logos are becoming so minimal,
Yeah.
and like they used to be kind of fun, like almost like whimsical, like illustrative before, but now they're going like super minimal, like HP for example is basically two lines.
HP
uh
is now like two lines.
Yeah, just like the I thought so. The HP.
Man.
Um,
Yeah, I think
oh
they're
yeah,
they're
4 lines, 4 lines. Yeah. Well,
I think there's
uh,
definitely like a huge level of oversimplification in like I could go on about like all sorts of things that I find to be extremely irritating with design where it's like I
mhm,
especially hate like when people do text layout where it's like uh,
mhm,
especially like in circular sort of layouts where it's like it's hard to figure out where to read if you're reading the top first and the bottom, or if you're reading the top and then the middle and the bottom, or if you're reading the middle and then you're reading the what's going around the top and then the bottom, or like what's
mhm.
going on. I don't know. Like text is one of those things that's irritating.
Yeah.
Like too irritating. Like
Mhm.
I should not be so irritated with how irritating it is, but I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oops. You just did a
Yeah, I
logo
try
like
to.
that?
Who, who did? I just did a lot like. Actually, I really like your logo. It stands out. Like it works great. I think one of the reasons is because functionality. Like when you make it super simple, you can put it on a Discord circle. You can put it on Instagram. It's like it can be tiny and people can recognize it.
Yeah,
It could be an app. Like on your little app icon. Um,
sure.
it's like it becomes functional. But then, yeah, I mean, like the old logos with the 3D stuff and like the illustrative qualities, they're kind of disappearing. I think some people are like kind of sad about it, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I can.
I'm
Yeah.
sad.
Trying to think of I guess Warner Brothers used to be a little bit more involved with the logo. It was like the 3D text and colors and stuff.
Yeah, it was a good looking logo. I like the Warner Brothers logo. I'm gonna go and check out the new one.
Mm. Well, the new one is basically monochromatic, like it's black and white, but I think what they're doing is for every show they're customizing that logo. Like they
Gotcha.
take it's almost like an alpha. And they take
Right.
that alpha and like make it into different things, which is kind of cool. Uh, yeah, I stay away from logo design. People ask me to make a logo. I'm like, nope, I don't know how to do that. Because it's so involved. Like, there's trends, there's trends every year. Every year it changes. Like gradients and not gradients. We're not using gradients anymore, are we? Kind of a thing. Um, uh, yeah, it's just like a slippery slope.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree.
Yeah. I follow YouTubers that do logos and it's super interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things. Either you do logos or you don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It's tricky because yeah,
mhm,
like you said, I mean, certain logos can definitely like super date your design,
mm,
and so like if you're not careful.
mm. Yeah, it can be easier when you're doing your own logo, I think, because you kind of have an idea what you like and and when you make something, even though it may be old or something, it might still work because you made it and it's kind of your idea and it's your, part of you. Um,
Yeah.
But when you're making logos for other people, like clients, there's so many factors to consider, like what they want, what they think is a good logo, and then what you think will work for them, even though they don't know it. Um,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's where it gets hard is being able to consult on it and being like, yeah, so that's popular now, but in 5 years, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Yeah, you gotta rebrand, I guess.
Yeah, it's like how often do you want to be spending on rebranding? That's the question. 'Cause it's like if you're constantly going through and having to spend on redesigning your logo, it's like is it worth it? Is it getting the attention and the everything that you need out of it, or is it something that's just kind of an expenditure that you're losing because you can't figure out what your market wants? Yeah, I don't know. Did I just lose it again? Did I just lose the stream again?
Hmm?
Oh, I thought I lost the stream. I thought I lost connection to the
Oh,
internet.
no, no, no. I was just watching your chart.
Not that you have to be talking like all the time or anything. It's just that like sometimes it gets extra quiet. I'm just like,
Yeah,
uh.
it's fun to like troll people on a call. It'd be like, "Hey, did you watch the thing where he like, throws them off?" I spent my whole life in, and I learned all about. It was great.
I was hoping to hear your thoughts on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. You use like creases, like when you sculpt us. I think I've seen you do that when you do like hard surface models. Do
Yeah.
you do you keep them when you go into like Maya or like production, for example?
They
How
usually
does that
won't stay.
actually? Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. They usually won't stay when you take them into Maya. Those are things that'll stay nicely for like when you smooth, and so it'll uphold your
Hmm.
shape until you uh, until you smooth. But otherwise, it's just kind of a oh yeah, turn off my symmetry. Um, let's turn on that. But yeah, it's one of those things that I love to do because it's just kind of a cheap way to be able to get or to hold shapes.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's go to the bottom side and look up. Um, but yeah, I mean it's kind of a false sense of security in some ways because it's like you see the shape that it's making here, and then if you go ahead and take it into Maya, it's like nope, that's not what it's making. Ooh, I'm gonna have
Hmm.
to make some like ooze like dripping off of that. I'm having like way too much fun with this character. I need to like stop having so much fun. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty cool.
And then maybe we'll do something similar with this with the surface noise. Copy. Oh, here, let's do this before I add anything there. Let's go ahead and say yeah, let's say 3, but then crease taking that down to 1. It'll help it to feel a little bit more like candy, I hope. That's all I have to say about that. That's a terrible Forrest
Yeah.
Gump impersonation.
Yeah.
How did I come up with my logo? So my logo is based off of. Let me see if I actually don't think I have it open. Let me open up Instagram. Open up the gram. Okay. In nanobots. Right. Oh, I thought that I had like an actual something to show on here. I guess I don't. But yeah, so in nanobots were like these little teeny pocket robots that I was designing and inventing, and I haven't done anything more with yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's kind of like one of the guys on the printer, which was kind of cool. Um, yeah, that's really all there is, I guess. But it's it's something that I'm hoping to be able to develop a little bit further here someday in the future. Um, yeah,
Cool.
I thought I had more about that on there, but the design actually came from the mask of one of the nanobots. Um, the first one I designed, and I'd really liked it and kind of based things around it, and so it was neat.
Ooh.
It was neat. So it's one of those things that
Oh, that's cool. I am following. Followed it.
I was like, why is my smooth brush not working? It's because the Z intensity was like way low.
Do you use smooth stronger
From time to
at all?
time, not always. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's just too strong, and
Mm-hmm.
I like to be able to keep track of things a little bit better. Do something like that.
Or did you try the space mouse yet? Get
No,
one of those.
no. Have you?
Yeah, I have one actually. I got it from work, but I was pretty
Nice.
happy when ZBrush implemented it. So I had it before. I use it with like SolidWorks a
Okay.
lot. But yeah, it works pretty cool. The only thing is, I don't have like a full pad with many buttons. I have like
Gotcha.
the knob itself, um, alone, or standalone, I should say. I just have to keep switching to the keyboard because all the shortcuts, like
Right.
because because so I mean it's nice when I want to like view it, but when I'm like switching back and forth, like smoothing, damn standard, clay, you're not really using it the whole time. At least I am not.
Right. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, it seems like they have a newer version or something though. That does
Hmm.
have like the buttons and things like that on it.
Yeah, they have like I think few buttons. But I mean, I have like 20 shortcuts probably that I do.
Gotcha.
Uh, yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't see me. Yeah, maybe I should check out the new model. But um, yeah, it's useful when I go into the mode of doing like monotonic tasks, like doing the same thing over and over again. Like let's say I'm putting hair on, like mesh hair,
Cool.
and doing like I'm not jumping back and forth to smooth or any other brush. That works pretty well.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. apparently
Mm.
they were thinking about asking some of the Pixologic streamers to like test them out or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, pick me, I'll totally go for that.
Yeah. Try, I mean, it's very useful, I should say, because sometimes even in different apps, um, like I'm using like the scroll wheel way too much, like or something like where the space mouse really comes in handy. Like it just takes away that extra stress on your fingers, at least for me.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, like my boss who's like an old school CAD guy, lives by it because I think it helps with like carpal tunnel and stuff.
Oy.
Yeah.
Yeah, carpal tunnel is something that I'm grateful to have never had to deal with
Yeah, knock
personally.
on wood. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta get those like wrist stretches and exercises in once in a while. Um, I don't know if you've seen their videos online, because apparently gamers have to do like hand workouts like for like an hour in the morning. Otherwise, they'll really screw up the hands. Because if you think about it, they're like high-speed gaming for like 12 hours a day. Um, so you would develop some bad conditions if you keep doing that. So they have to really stretch out and work their hands every morning.
I develop I do low speed sculpting, so it's
Yeah, yeah,
so it's not
but yeah,
important for me.
you're just like super. Um, you probably do you like when you sculpt? Do you sculpt from the shoulder?
No, I sculpt like this like all day, just like fingers and wrist.
Yeah, I do that too. Like once in a while, I'm like, crap, maybe I should,
Yeah.
because sometimes when I draw from my shoulder, like pro
Yeah.
code drawing, like proper. But it's just so much lazier and easier just to just sit down and zoom out, small
Yeah.
moves, big motions kind of deal. Uh, yeah. Uh,
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things that it's kind of funny because it's like really like with my tablet. I mean, I use a small little tablet. I don't use like a big Cintiq
Mhm.
screen. If I did, I'd probably use more ARM. Um, but yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things though where it's like actually I don't really know what I'm trying to think. Um, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'll stop trying to say right now.
Yeah, I've heard that some artists like go from Cintiqs to like Intuos or tablets because it's more comfortable.
Well,
Just the
and
the
the thing that I
Cintiq
like
series.
about using a tablet versus a Cintiq is that my hand isn't in the way.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes so much sense. Like when you said that, like I've tried Cintiqs. I never liked them. They might be good for like 2D art, like when you want to be super precise with your strokes, like every
Yeah,
stroke matters. Whereas sculpting is like, yeah, it matters, but you can always,
yeah.
I don't know.
With sculpting, I feel like
Make it.
it's just more natural to be be able to not be able to see my screen, and it's like I feel like it's easier um, without having my hand in the way. And like you're saying, like sketching on a Cintiq, I think that's very valid. I think that works well, and I enjoy that. It's been a while since I've been able to do that because I've not had a Cintiq for years, but um, had one at work when I was at DreamWorks, and that was nice. But yeah. Let me see.
Sean was trying to
Trying to upload to Discord. It's
to the
failing for some
Discord.
reason. Are the nipples showing? That's interesting. You've had that issue, Quentin? Quentin, what are you doing? Little bumps, but it's smoothed out. The way the arms
I think they're talking about like just mistakes with tablets versus intakes. I can
yeah.
smooth it out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's like you get like a really good arm workout with the one arm that's moving all over the place, but it's
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of build up the corners of the mouth just a little bit, just kind of see what it looks like with a bit more. More of that. Yeah, I don't like it. I'll just keep it simpler. Undo, 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 undo. Undo, undo. Did it? Oh, is that really? Oh, no. There we go. Okay, okay. There we go. And save. Why is your right arm so toned and buff? And you're like, because I use a Cintiq. Yeah, right. I'm an artist. And they're like, yeah, right. No, really, what do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad grew up playing tennis. And so his swing arm was like toned or whatever. And then he would always have like his his left arm was like super shrimpy.
Yeah. I've seen that in like pro players, like some players, I think they make an effort to work out both hands or something like that. But then there are other players that have like teeny tiny left hands or non-dominant hands, and then like this muscular dominant hand.
That's why the Williams sisters are the best.
It's just called the tennis player, Some people will be like, "Oh, that's anatomy doesn't look right." I'm like, "Well, he's a tennis player." Right?
Or an arm wrestler, and he's got like this really big beefy one arm, and then the other arm's like gimpy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need the other arm.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever had to switch leagues,
Oh my goodness.
Then it'd be kind of like Cinderella Man, where it's like he had a really good right hook and everything, but then all of a sudden he had his accident and he couldn't work or whatever, and then he got really good with that left hand working on the docks, and then that was a good film. I haven't seen that one in a long, long time. The Stallone movie, Over the Top. I haven't heard that. I smoothed the nipples right off my guy and it still won't upload.
They're still trying to upload. I think they're thinking is something censoring,
Oh, you poor
which
guy.
doesn't make sense, but
That's humiliating. What makes it worse? What makes it worse is that you're going through trying to upload it and it won't upload, and now it's like it's all over the internet now. And now we're just here having a conversation about like censorship
you
and
accidentally paste it to every Discord on your Discord.
yeah.
That'd be funny. Hmm. I have a question.
Sure.
Do you do like exercise sculpts? Like, sometimes artists do like exercise sketches.
Sometimes. I mean, it's been a while since I've really done one, but it's I mean, this is kind of an exercise sculpt. I'm just trying out different things.
Hmm.
Um I probably shouldn't be like exercise sculpting. I should probably be like actually working on something useful.
Uh,
But I'm having
you
fun,
know,
and I'm kind of exploring
yeah.
and you know, compounding details and getting something different. And I need to do, you know, different every once in a while.
Hmm.
That's a good question, though. I mean, I try to do little things every once in a while just to shake things up. And that's more what I do for practice sculpts is just, you know, whatever kind of helps me to push an idea or a technique. And sometimes those will turn into more final sort of sculpts, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't.
Interesting.
Feels a little bit too stuck there. Yeah, it's fun though. I really like doing sculpting for fun just cuz it's yeah, it just gets you thinking rather than just, you know, doing something from a concept or doing something from a
Hmm.
not Damien Standard, I need
From real life.
slash.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact one of the things I might start doing, and I gotta ask kind of around. I'll do a poll on what's it called, on Patreon to see if you guys are up for it or not. Um, like, you know, so one of the things that I do with some of my friends on the Discord, not on the Discord, on the Pixelogic channel, is
Hmm.
that we'll do like team streams, and we'll do like a pass the sculpt sort of game where it's like we'll sculpt on something for an hour and then we'll pass it off, and then the next person sculpts on it for the next hour, and then it gets passed off and the next person, you know, and so it goes in that sort of trend, and it's super fun.
Hmm.
um and it's like I did that with my buddy Mikkel one time too. He came and he kind of he played with me one time on my channel, and it was a ton of fun. It's super great. And
Yeah, that would definitely be fun. Um, I'm sure your Discordians and Pat- Patreons would would be down for that.
I think so. I think so, and I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun. It'd be a fun way to be able to kind of interact with people a little
Yeah,
bit more.
yeah. The one thing about challenges, I always like the king of procrastination when it comes to that, and like I never get to it. But when it's like a little bit more real time and everyone's like kind of working on it together, that would be something, because you do it and you're done kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah, and then it becomes more social too, you know,
Uh,
which I think to me is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, actually, it's something I just thought of. I wonder if it's something to do with maybe your picture size. Like maybe check and see if the image is too big.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay, finally upload it. That's it.
that could be a possibility.
Uh,
Oh, I keep like bumping my mic.
oh.
Oops. Turn my smooth down a little bit. Yeah. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that. It's getting kind of like this layered, chipped sort of look. Still trying to come up with a cool idea for the no spare time challenge. Yeah, me too. For anybody who's curious, the no spare time challenge theme for this month is going to be oversized, and I have no idea what I'm going to do for it, but we'll have to see. It's kind of interesting. He almost feels like he's got a little bit of like this like a Purely cookie sort of vibe going in down his arm here, which might be, it might be kind of a cool aesthetic to push. More than anything, I'm trying to get just like a surface transition, or a surface variation rather. Transition. Pff. Oops. Something like that. Okay. Any experience with Unreal? A little bit. That's what we used at Warner Brothers Games. I mean, I don't do a ton of. It's been 4 years, so I mean, I still know how to go through, kind of bring assets in and author materials, connect things through Perforce. Uh, it's been a while. I was trying to go through and actually use it to highlight some of my characters for my demo reel, but I was having issues getting it to actually work on my computer. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a pain.
What are you doing? Do you computer?
What was that?
Did you say you're working on your computer?
Yeah, trying to get Unreal working, and it wasn't being very cooperative. So it's probably just that I have too many other things on there already. So it's like complaining. It's like, why are you making me remember all this stuff? Like, you
Yeah,
don't want to actually use
Unreal.
it.
It's like one of the reasons I haven't played around with Unreal as much is because it takes so much space. It's like a 30 gig hit on your computer, and then every project is just massive. And
Uh huh.
it's, sort of, it's not a huge deal, but it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it can definitely be pretty stinking heavy, but yeah, I don't know. It's tricky.
Mhm.
Ugh. Okay, I need to make that bow. Otherwise, this is like not making sense at all. And I need to finish. I need to make the fletchings and the in that piece. I need to let's hit apply. Let's say I'm just trying to like eat out the edge just a little bit. Smooth it out a little bit more. Is it working? Not really. Let's kind of fill this in. And then we'll use the slash and we'll just kind of, oops, other direction. Doesn't Mandalorian use a game engine? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I
The
don't know. I
TV
haven't
show?
seen any. What was that?
It does, I think. I'm pretty sure it does.
It
It
does?
uses it for the background.
Interesting.
Um, I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes of that. It's um, they use like a parallax effect, so they have uh, position of the camera being recorded. So when you turn the camera, there's a giant LED screen that changes the entire background, like in real time.
Weird.
So and all of this giant LED screen built by ILM, there um, it controls like it takes out all the green screen of things that we do and like post, so they do it in real time.
Weird.
Yeah, which is great because like Mandalorian is like a shiny guy, like
Right. You get
green
the actual
green screening
reflections.
that. Yeah, exactly. The green screening Mandalorian would be so hard because you'd have to like like replace all of the reflections, not only the background,
Wow.
but so with the big screen, all the reflections are real, as in unreal. um,
They're
uh,
real as an
yeah,
unreal.
yeah. Uh, and the Mandalorian is or actually the actors say that they have a way better experience with that because usually they have to imagine, vast plains and mountains out in the distance and they're pointing at a green screen. But when seeing that kind of, they say it helps with performance.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Man, that's intense.
Yeah, a lot of GPU power backing that screen up.
Oh,
Should
I'm sure.
check out the yeah. Actually, Disney has a behind the scenes series to the Mandalorian too.
Oh, I'm
Disney
gonna have to go
Plus.
check that out. I'm gonna have to go check that out because yeah, The Mandalorian is super super cool, and I haven't had time to really. I never get time to really do anything, and yet here I am
Yeah,
like sculpting something with a nothing to do with anything.
yeah, yeah. I'm not. Everybody doesn't have time these days. I try to pick carefully like what I really want to watch and I don't want to watch, and um, make a
Sure,
decision. I
sure.
decided I am going to watch One Division because it got a lot better.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's starting to kind of pick up. We're starting to understand more about what's going on, and I think that that's really nice. Yeah, like the first 2 or 3 episodes, just kind of like in the dark. It's like, what's going on?
mhm.
Which is also kind of cool too, but
Yeah.
oops, wrong direction. Yeah, it's like that's something that I really appreciated about the movie Maze Runner. I really really liked how it's like I was on the adventure with everybody else. Like um
Hmm.
like I had no idea what was going on, and so for them going through this and being all kind of in the dark, it's just, to me, it's really cool narrative.
Yeah.
It takes so much work to sculpt a little thing, but it looks so cool now. And then I imagine, like, if I were to take it over into Maya to render, it's gonna be like, whoa. Soon it'll be a VR room for actors to perform in. Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. We can deep fake it faces out. Yeah, that's gonna be like crazy. It's crazy
Right.
already to see some of the things that people can do with deep fakes. Holy
Because
cow.
you saw all the Mandalorian, right? At
Yeah.
the end. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the big guy at the end is all deepfake, not CG.
The big guy at the end is all deep fake.
So you didn't
Oh,
watch all
oh,
the
I know who you're
Mandalorian?
talking about.
Yeah,
The big, I get who you're talking. I was trying to think about like a big
big
guy,
guy.
like
No,
here's
not a big
big.
guy. A big, let's call him A-list actor at the end.
A-list actor was deep faked. Yeah, and it's funny
Yeah.
because people have deep faked the deep fake to make him more uh make him look more like the A-list actor.
Oh yeah, yeah. Corridor Digital, right?
What was that?
The YouTube channel, Corridor Digital.
Possibly, yeah. Which
Yeah,
I thought was
yeah,
impressive. Like I thought that was super super impressive the way like how well that turned out.
yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Such a neat piece of technology. Obviously it's super dangerous too, but it's but it's cool.
Hmm.
And it's cool to see it used in a useful way, you know?
Yeah, actually, it's good that YouTube and like all these channels are making comedy with it. I mean, it's good for people to know what deepfakes are.
Absolutely,
Um,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Because it could be used in a very
exactly, it already has been used.
yeah,
Like,
for
I
sure.
think it
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it threw off a election in India, I believe.
Really?
Um, yeah, because somebody deepfaked a politician, a female politician.
Ah,
And and it was the fact is like it wasn't at all like real, but a lot of people thought it was real, and that was enough to cause, the
disruption in the
election to tilt. Yeah,
ah, that's terrible.
yeah.
Makes it worse if like the person who was wronged is like the best person for the position and everything. It's just like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I bet it is kind of like Photoshop when it came out. Like, you look at an image today, and everybody thinks, oh, that can be real. It's probably photoshopped or something.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, that same kind of doubt will need to exist in the future for videos,
yeah,
which
absolutely.
people don't have right now. Yeah.
Man, that's disheartening though, just to see good technology used poorly. I have no idea what my son's doing, but he's doing something. The George Lucas deepfake was hilarious. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Oh, I saw that. It's the round table one, right? Is it?
I don't know. I don't know. Quicks, was it the
Uh,
roundtable one? Is that?
I'm pretty sure it was a round table deepfake of George Lucas. It was so funny. But yeah, there's some pretty good ones out there. There's a whole channel dedicated to deepfakes.
The one like putting in Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. for Back to the Future. Those were really good.
Yeah. Uh,
Those are really
it,
good. I really
it
appreciate those.
it makes me like concerned a little bit. Like now anyone can take anyone's face and make a deepfake.
Yeah, is
I
it
mean,
really me?
yeah, this is crazy.
It's impressive though.
Mhm.
Of course, with as often as I'm streaming on the internet, I guess that makes me more of a target for someone who could be deep faked. Technically, right?
Well, I thought about that, but the thing is, like, your icon is so small. There's no way there's enough data to get anything out of it. Um, yeah, so doubtful. Like you needed a lot of good pictures. Like um,
Right.
people who have like really high quality, like NKBHD, for example, Prime can't do it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, like he's got like 8K footage of himself, like full screen, pretty good. Um, yeah, and the other thing that I think Corridor Digital was doing for deepfakes is like they not only took videos of the people, but but the but the puppeteer, let's call them, they had to take pictures from like every type of light source too. Like they did like different
Right.
colored lights, and because every kind of image helps it in the AI.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Which is so crazy. So crazy.
yeah. So now movie studios can use temp actors, then deepfake all these actors and decide which actor looks best for the part before
And then
hiring
it
them.
becomes a matter of okay, so you're not going to charge me, or you're not going to pay me to be in your movie, but you're going to pay me royalties because of, or whatever, because of
I'm taking my
including me
face.
without my permission, or different things like that. It's like you're still using my
Yeah.
likeness, so you're not going to pay for my acting, but you're going to pay for my likeness.
Hmm.
And then it becomes like a turbo squid for A-list actors.
Well, well, people who can impersonate other people, that would be a good talent to have.
There's this guy on TikTok who does like a bunch of these he does these impersonations of presidents, and
Yeah.
he does this really, every once in a while he does a really really decent Obama, and he does like these Obama Trump conversations, and they're hilarious. They are so funny. So if I order the pizza, and then he's like, Donald, you just ordered the pizza, whatever. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Voice actors, the future.
Get like a good bit of this back melt off here, especially since he's got like his quiver right there. Maybe it's like he's got like, maybe the quiver's like creating some back sweat, and so it's making him melt even more.
Mhm.
Ooh. That's gross. Back sweat. He's his own private fondue fountain. It's so funny. It's like my parents, they don't have Disney Plus, and I keep wanting to talk to them about stuff that's on Disney Plus, and they don't have Disney Plus, and they're like, "Oh, well, I guess we just can't talk about that." Just like, this stuff isn't coming out to DVD, Dad. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, Disney made some huge announcements for TV shows in the coming couple of years.
Uh huh.
A lot of Star Wars, uh, Marvel, Avengers and stuff.
Yeah. So it'd be really interesting to kind of see how that stuff does, like how it performs for them, how it turns out. Really, I mean, it's like I'm super interested to see some of the Avengers stuff that's coming out, and Some of the Star Wars stuff that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Tales of Grogu.
Grogu.
It's still weird to me that that's his name. It's like, no, come on, give him a real name. The poor kid's gonna get made fun of at Jedi school.
You mean Sith school?
Ooh, are you on that team?
I don't know. He did steal the macaroons, though.
Well, the macaroons and
eggs.
the baby frog eggs.
Yeah.
Poor little mama. She's like, oh, all my babies. I have all my babies. And I'm just thinking, it's like, why doesn't she ask, why are there less eggs now?
Yeah. People, I heard that people were not happy with that part. Like Jimmy Fallon, it was on Jimmy Fallon.
They were not
People
happy with, like, Grogu eating the
Grogu
eggs?
stealing,
Or
misbehaving. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I guess it probably looked pretty funny in writing and like in the storyboarding and stuff. But I think what happened is like they gave too like a lot of emotional weight to the mom.
Right.
So when she lost the eggs, it's like no. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
I
I
can
don't know what
understand that, I guess, a little bit, but it is kind of funny.
It is funny.
I think I'm more apt to laugh at it than anyone else, but you can't please everyone. Yeah, that's definitely certain, but yeah, I think that's one of those cases where survival of the fittest, I guess.
Well, he did get some karma from the spiders.
Yeah,
He ate a
yeah, that's
spider,
true.
and then the rest of the spiders attacked him.
That's too much. That's too much back there.
Lesson learned. Man, Boba's amazing in it. So badass.
Bobo.
Boba Fett.
Oh, Boba,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, seeing Boba come back, that was interesting.
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
What?
Like, quick, everybody,
Well,
mute yourselves.
it's been like 3 weeks, so maybe even more.
It's been a while. Yeah. Just nobody talk about Wanda yet.
Yeah. Well, I think I gotta get going. But
Oh yeah.
good
Okay.
chatting. Happy to stop by.
Yeah, I'm glad you stopped by. Thanks for coming and hanging out for a little bit.
No problem.
Have a good day.
Gotta get Quentin on here one of these days again.
Yeah, little stinker. He's like there in the chat. It's like, what's he doing?
Someone's asking what renderer you use.
What render do I use? That is a good question. What render do any of us use? Most often I try to use Arnold and Maya, unless I don't have the time. In which case I just use what's it called?
BPR.
ZBrush BPR render, which works pretty well.
Mhm. Yep. You just gotta comp it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you're a pro at it.
Well, not to a level of not needing to comp.
Alright, man. Catch you later. Have
Alrighty, dude.
happy modeling, happy sculpting. Yeah.
You too.
Peace out.
Take care, brother. Yeah, I had been on Keyshot for a while, and I tried kind of playing with it some, but it was just kind of like I don't like how hard it is to control. I think you and I might have had that conversation already, Mike. But yeah, I mean it's kind of a tricky software to use and to get something beneficial. Um, oh man, this dude is so gnarly. That happens. Yeah, but yeah, Keyshots. It's interesting and it's usable. It's just tricky. It's harder to control than like something like Arnold. So yeah, I like to use Arnold quite a bit actually. Arnold takes a little bit of grunt work up in the front end, but once you get the what's it called working, different shaders, once you get your lighting set up, it's really nice and it's really predictable, controllable, that sort of thing. And that's the kind of thing um, that I personally look for and try to get is what allows me to control the look. Let's go ahead and get some of this kind of blocked in here. I still got to make that bow. Why is it called Arnold? I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe it's supposed to be strong like Arnold. Yeah, 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 yeah. I can handle the Arnold render. Because you always try to go to something else and you just keep coming back. I don't know. Loads of trouble getting anything rendered in Maya. I'm just not smart enough. Nah, it's not true. I'm inspired by the particularly brilliant impersonation made by fellow visual effects artist Andy Lesniak of the then governor of California and prototypical bodybuilder. Austrian-born Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love that long, long introduction there. It's like, yes, Arnold, I knew him well. He is very Schwarzenegger. Man, this is so crazy. Do you usually sculpt with a mouse? I never sculpt with a mouse. Can do it now. Head to the render. That's really funny. It's not a render. Get to the render now. Render with me if you want to live. So the thing that you're probably hearing, if you're asking about a mouse, it's because of my my keyboard. My keyboard's really clicky clacky. Which really kind of irritates me, actually, but whatever. Yeah, let's get something in here to kind of break the surface, and we'll have to go through with the it needs to be a meme now. Let's make a meme, guys. We should meme it. See if Autodesk reposts it. See if Arnold reposts it. Arnold probably wouldn't care because he'd be like, "What is a render?" Yeah, it's the render button. I'll be back. You see estimated render time. I'm going to pump you up. It's so bad. Let's see, let's do something like this. Boom, 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 boom. It's so funny. It's like I'm working down on this part, and it's like, it looks so weird. And then all of a sudden, I zoom out, and it's like, oh, that's so creepy. The original Conan? I haven't watched the original Conan. I need to. It's one of those things that I think it's a cultural thing. Let's get some drip coming off of his knee right there. Get a little bit of a variation there. Little bit of a variation, little bit of a variation. Okay. Yeah, a lot of times I'll go through and I'll just kind of have a stream going on in the background if I listen to streams. some of the ones that I really like listening to are like Ana Carolina. I love her streams. Ashley Adams. She's another great one to watch. Shane Olson. Who else do I like watching or listening to? You know what? I can't think of who else I really enjoy listening to. But there are a few. There are a few, like 4 or 5 that I really enjoy dropping in on, saying hello. Okay, right now I'm trying to check and make sure. Sorry, it's like the stream keeps cutting. Drives me nuts. The internet keeps dying on me, and so I'm trying to kind of keep it together. And I think it's just because I had some internet tabs open that didn't need to be open. So anyway, I went ahead and closed those. Yeah. Spicer is so odd. Like so many crazy. And we're back. He's like so high energy, and it's like I love high energy, but it's like it's a bit much for me sometimes. It's kind of funny, but he's got that cool the cool soundboard and everything that he uses, and he's somehow able to manage that and sculpt at the same time. It's just like, dude, that's too big. Nope, not in. Inflate. Oh, I didn't actually want to. No, don't Dynamesh. Don't No. Does it look bad at all? You know what? We'll keep it. We'll keep it. His break dance. I actually haven't gotten. I guess it shows how much time I really do have to to spend on watching somebody's live streams. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen that. So I've obviously not been active on his streams. He'll drop in every once in a while though and say hello, which is cool. Do something like that, so that way it feels like he's kind of dripping at the ears too. Nah, I don't like the drips there. Let's just not put the drips there. We'll have the drips on the ears, but I think right there it just doesn't quite work. Let's see. Let's try something like right here. Something like that. Which I think that's working cool. Oh my goodness. Maybe something off of his chin. Let's try something off of his chin, because that could be cool. Control save. Yeah, this is super different from anything I've ever done. Watched a few of Rafael Grassetti's streams, pretty cool, but he hasn't streamed in a while. Yeah, I think I've jumped on maybe one or two of his as well. Raf is really cool. In fact, it was really fun when I first met him. It was at the ZBrush Summit a couple years back. You know, the last one that they had before everything went down. And who was it that he was talking to? I was trying to remember because it's somebody that I'm friends with and that I see every year at the summit, and you know, had to say hello. I brought him a sticker and everything, and I was really just excited to give him a sticker. And then Raph was like, "Oh, dude, can I have one too?" And he was like super excited. He loved like all my little stickers and everything, and got to talk to him, and we've been buds. We've been buds ever since. It's kind of cool. It was super cool. I was super nervous though. I was like, "Oh, dude, I know who that is," and it's funny because he's my age, and so it's like, man, I'm talking to this guy. He's like super made it, and he's super awesome, and he's super down to earth. It's like I love it when people are like that, when they're just so cool. There's this guy. I can't remember his last name. I gotta look it up now because this guy's awesome. I was talking about him with my. Oh, good. Sean got his thing up on the. Got his thing up on the Discord. Way to go, Sean. I'm glad you were able to get that up there. I'll have to take a look at it. What was I going to look up? I totally spaced it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Never mind. I lost it. I'm not going to remember now. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me later. Control Shift D. We'll just kind of carry this back. Let's come over here. Let's grab the cube simple. I'm gonna pull this out so that it's clear out the back side here. Insert that. Insert multiple edge loops. Actually, let's leave it kind of thicker here in the center. And then we'll go ahead and we'll kind of pull it in less thick at the ends. Okay, this is something I'm gonna kind of experiment with. Give it like a lots of variation there. And let's give it like a little bit of variation here and a little bit of variation here. Okay. And then let's go in surface, edit, frame, definitely way too big. Let's give it like a really small, tight noise like that. We'll say apply to mesh. Nah, that didn't work nearly like I was hoping. You know what? Let's make it something that's less dense. Take the fletching, kind of make it so that it's got that sort of pattern to it. Do something like this. And then got an idea. I got an idea. Let's do this. We'll say Control A, Control Shift A. We'll take deformation. Say inflate. Do something like that, and then we'll say bevel edge loop complete. Do that. Do that. And then we'll get rid of, hold on. Okay, get rid of that. Geometry, modify topology, delete hidden. So this way we get a little bit of a variation in the shape. We'll say close holes, which worked out beautifully. I mean, it's got triangles, but I mean, at least it's got, let's say delete edge. So this will take it back to quads again. It's easier than going through and bridging. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say crease PG. Let's go ahead and say crease edge loop partial. Get that in there, get that in there, get that in there, get that one, that one, that one. So we got that, we got that, we got that. Let's grab that one. We already got that one. Then I'm just going to go ahead and use the slice curve. I'm going to add division there and a division there, and that'll help to kind of hold the shape a little bit better. All right. Something like that. Just kind of jiggle it a little bit, control jiggle and just jiggle jiggle. And then we'll go ahead and center and we'll rotate. Whoa. Usually there are only 3. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of half of one and then and then I'll just kind of organize them. In fact, maybe what I ought to do, oh shoot, stop that, stop that. I'll take this, modify topology, delete hidden. I'm going to go ahead and split these. Let's go Control W. Let's grab the select lasso. Control Shift X. Okay, polygroups, auto groups. And then we'll come over here, geometry, unweld groups border. There it is. And we'll just kind of rotate that out. Let me see the question, what is the question? When you did bake out maps for games, what did I use? Substance Painter. I mean, that was just kind of the tool that I was taught. However, I do know also that a lot of people will use things like Marmoset, or I've seen people use what's it called? Oh my goodness, I used to use it a little bit. 3D Coat, which I hated. I didn't like. I loved Substance when I got into it. But yeah, it really comes down in a lot of ways to personal preference and to studio preference too, I guess. Yeah, wherever you work, they're going to have their own pipeline, their workflow, and whatnot. Cool. So there's the little arrow. One of the things I do want to have though is I want to kind of vary up where these details come to, since these two are the exact same piece. In fact, here's what we could do. Go ahead and just kind of rotate that up, because those two are different, and now we can't see the other piece, so it should be just fine now. What I do want to do something like that. Just to give it enough support edges throughout so that it can, you know, maybe have like a little varied bit of shape. Just kind of pull this down or something, I don't know. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and polygroups so that they're nice and neat. Cool. Now I feel like there's not quite enough detail there, so I'll probably have to go through and do something to add to it. We'll get to that later. So, Quicks, which software do you prefer when using Substance Painter or Marmoset for baking? Do you have a preference? Or do you have one that you prefer more than either of those? Ooh, one of the things I want to do, let's go ahead and take this down. I'm going to turn on why isn't it working? Okay, so I know a better way. Since this is not being very cooperative, I'm just going to give it another slice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Dynamesh and enjoy the bounties of the tools. There we go. Adds a little bit of character. This side, I think I'm going to kind of pull this up a little bit more. And then we'll inflate it out so that it feels more like it's getting ready to come down and drip. If you add any more drips, you're going to have to put a bowl underneath. I'm actually wanting to put like a little puddle of chocolate underneath them. Or are you talking about on my desk? Yeah, I want them to feel kind of drippy, messy. Let's get something that's a little bit more committed. Let's go ahead and kind of narrow this out, and we can just add a little bit of meltiness to the surface here. Kind of smooth that out because that doesn't need to be there. His thighs were sticking together earlier. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and add kind of like a trail, if you will, kind of running down to his little drip down here. And we'll just kind of pull it off just a little bit, as if it's going to have like another little drip right next to it. Yeah, really kind of an interesting concept. Holy crap. You know what? I'm going to put I'm going to put a little screenshot of it right here, just so that we can kind of keep it in mind while we're sculpting down here. Oops. Pull that in. Okay, let's kind of get something built up little by little right here. Okay. That would be funny. No, I haven't gotten any chocolate as reference this time. I didn't even think about this until like late last night, early this morning. Right now, I do prefer Marmoset because you have a little more options to tweak certain maps like the AO, ray count, certain distance, cavity weight. Plus, there's an option to fix certain areas to adjust the cage instead of adjust the whole cage globally. That's interesting. Yeah, the cage, it's not something that I'm super familiar with how to use. That's something that I need to go through and kind of learn. There's so much in that software that I feel like is super helpful, but it was never taught to me, and I never knew to look for it, or I never knew kind of what to look for, what to expect. So yeah, they're just some little things with software like Substance that I'm not amazing at. Like, nobody ever taught me about anchor points, which is something that I have started going through and trying to research and figure out. Yeah. And I would dive into Substance sort of related stuff here on stream, but it's like it gets too clunky. That's too much. Something like that. Yeah, all I know is it's like creating a reference point, right? It's like it's supposed to be like a reference point for your textures. Like, if you want to be able to use a certain pattern again, but you don't want to have to go back. I don't know. I didn't quite understand exactly what it was that the guy was trying to explain. But yeah, lots of interesting things. Just a matter of learning them. almost done with this part. Oy, 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 oy. Yeah, it's like I want to go through and finish this, but it's like, on the other hand, I want to go and spend time with my family too. And I've been at this, sitting at this computer since 8 o'clock this morning. It's 3 o'clock, so it's been about 7 hours just sitting here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't need the line. Okay, so here's something I need to do. I want to go ahead and go over to movie. It's a timeline show. I want to record a time lapse. Okay. Gotta try to figure out a good angle for it. But yeah, this is like thousands of steps. And so I think, actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and say document. Let's say height, change the, oh shoot. $1,500, $2,100. Resize, yes. Control N. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and have them turned kind of like this. I think that that's kind of a compelling angle. But then you don't get to see the backside. It's like there's so many different angles to see this from. I'm going to have to go through and like record it from different sides. Yeah, I've got to record it from different sides. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bookmark this as 1. Bookmark this as 2. And then bookmark this as 3. Okay, and then we'll go say movie, save views. Sweet Tooth time lapse views. Okay, and then I do want to save a project with the history just in case I lose it somehow. I want to be able to get back to it. So let's say undo history. Okay. Do this. It's going to make for a huge file size, but we're going to say save as. Sweet Tooth 01. Say save. And we'll see how that goes. Need a nice elegant mirror in the back to show off the cracked head. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I have like one of those wall of mirrors sort of thing. Okay, let me see. Let's get this going. Let's go over to the quiver real quick. Turn the smooth subdiv on. Okay, and then let's go ahead and we'll save a Z tool as well, just to make sure that we don't lose it. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit record backward history. Oh, no, the first thing, okay, so there are a couple of things I got to do first. Okay, very first thing, title image, this needs to go off. Okay. Overlay image, need to turn the opacity down. Modifiers, I need to take spin cycles, I'm going to turn that to 0, and I'm also going to take H position to 0, H size to 0, H orientation to 0. Spin frames doesn't matter because I've already got the spin cycles turned off. And then large and document size, and then backwards history. So now that'll stay still, but it'll go through and it'll do the whole undo history and kind of record it. It's no, you're not supposed to do any kind of spinning. Stop spinning. Oh, you know what? Just turn that off. Okay, we already deleted, so backwards history. It should hopefully just stay still as it does this. Yep, you can see it's going through and it's recording the movements here on the feet, which is great. Okay, so now I should be able to, in theory, walk away and come back later. So, anyways, I'm going to call it good for now. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I appreciate having fun with you guys and being able to stream for, gosh, for as long as we did. People like you, Mike, you know, over there on the very far east side of the time zone. You know, you guys are like late in the evening and stuff, so you know, thanks for dropping in, having fun. And yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get into this and finish them up possibly in the next ZBrush live stream that I do in 2 weeks. This makes more sense to have them wait. So yeah, I'll see you guys around. Thanks for stopping in. And if you're interested in, you know, eventually when I finish this guy out, I'll probably prep him as like a 3D printable, or at least try to. You know, maybe I'll just put the ZTL up on Patreon. So you know, if you're interested in that, we'll do that. It'll be up later this month. Hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you next time.